In Circle C, angle UCN is an angle subtended by the minor arc with endpoints U and N. If the distance of UC is equal to 5 and the area of the sector of the circle enclosed by the central angle subtended by arc UN is 6.54 inches squared, what is the measure of angle UCN? Round your answer to the nearest degree. Okay, so this was at the area of a sector. So again, in the key terms, the area of a sector, it wants it in degrees, so I'm going to use this formula for it in degrees. So we have that the area is equal to theta divided by 360 times pi r squared, which is the area of the circle. So if we haven't made this connection, this is kind of like finding the arc length in the last in lesson 14. The arc length was just the portion of the circle times by the circumference, and area of the sector is just the portion of the circle times by the area of our whole circle. So we're just now starting to find portions of circles. That's what this formula is. So now we're just going to use substitution. So we know that the area of the sector of the circle is 6.54. So by substitution, the area is 6.54. We do not know what the angle is. We do know that the radius, because UC is a radius length, we do know that this is 5. So now our whole goal is going to be to get just something that looks like theta equals. So again, we have pi times 5 squared. So we would divide by pi times 5 squared. So we would divide both sides by pi times 5 squared. So then our new equation, we would have 6.54 divided by pi 5 times 5 squared. And then that's going to equal, we still have theta divided by 360, and pi divided by pi reduces down to 1, and 5 squared divided by 5 squared, since it's the same quantity, reduces down to 1. So same quantity divided by same quantity always reduces down to 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times theta divided by 360 is theta divided by 360. So now again, theta is being divided by 360, so we're going to multiply by 360 to both sides. So this is now going to be 360. So when we have this, we have, again, if you're remembering to multiply, how we multiply fractions, we multiply numerators to numerators and denominators to denominators. You might be asking, well, there isn't a denominator to 360, and there is. We can write it. It's always over 1. If it's a whole number that's not written as a fraction, we can always create it by writing it over 1. So 360 times 6.54 is what is now going to be in the numerator, and then 1 times pi 5 squared is pi 5 squared, because 1 doesn't change that value. And then 360 divided by 360 reduces down to a form of 1, and 1 times theta leaves us with just theta. So we did reach our goal. We have theta equals this number. So I'm going to move that over, and I'm going to use this. I'm going to make sure that I'm in degrees. So I moved this little toggle. If it's RAD, please make sure it's in DEG, which stands for degrees. So we're going to type in parentheses for the numerator, 360 times 6.54, close parentheses, and then we're going to divide that by, in parentheses again, because we want it all to be in there, times pi times 5 squared. And then hit equals, and this is about 29.97. So when we jump back over here, our closest, round it to the nearest degree, it would be 30 degrees.